let's jump right in.
All right.
Because that's the name of this fucking show.
Is it really?
Yep. Boom. So,
Cool.
Daniel Recinos, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
As a photographer, I would say a curator of your craft. And I know we had a bunch of meetings, a bunch of projects. I would say hire you. You gave me a lot of like free work. You took some photos, did some behind the scenes. You've hired me for some projects.
It's the least I could do.
But what are you up to now? Because I haven't seen you in a bit.
Some things have changed actually. So I continue doing photography. I'm now doing photography for a few sports teams. I do a lot of photography for MLS right now. And then
that's
I'm
Major
also
League Soccer.
Major League Soccer, who right now, there's no work.
Okay.
They canceled all the games.
Right.
Obviously. On top of that, I'm also doing a lot of creative director work now. I'm no longer just a photographer. Now I get called in. Let's say you have a product you want to promote. You'll call me in and say, how do we promote this?
Okay.
How do we get this done? And then I'll come in with my team. We'll brainstorm. We'll give you a video campaign idea, which 9 times out of 10 never happens. But our photo campaign ideas are really starting to blow up a lot.
Nice.
So people, they love that we're able to pull in people with emotional campaigns, with thought-provoking campaigns. We basically help them sell their ideas or sell their product with transparent ideas like that. And on top of that, we have a studio that's opening pretty soon.
Nice.
Very exciting. I'm teaming up with Gary Pivot from 100 from the Line to open up our studio.
Super dope and talented photographer.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. We got a big space in the downtown / south end of Bridgeport being built from scratch.
Okay.
Just an empty, old, abandoned warehouse. New windows, new floors, new walls, new everything. Right. Everything from the bottom up. It's going to look really nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a collaboration, right? Mm-hmm. But this is still the Recinos company?
Yeah. So it's 2 companies sharing a space because we work together a lot. We work together all the time. We basically subcontract each other whenever there's a job. So if they have a client, they need me. They subcontract me and I subcontract them if I have a client, vice versa. So we're always working together. We share equipment. We share clients. We're always in a creative space together. So we figured, why not team up, get a space for ourselves? We can edit there. We can photograph there. We can record audio there. We do everything there.
Okay.
Just one giant creative suite.
Right. Okay, yeah, I think we moved on, or at least us as freelancers, we kind of had to move on to offering full one-stop services.
Yeah.
A lot of companies don't want to deal with just, okay, I got an idea, now who's going to shoot it? Okay, I'll be back with that. Like, it has never really worked, which has been one of the reasons why businesses has been a little tough area for me. And I've had to start offering, even in my limited amount of knowledge and marketing, I had to start at least setting them up with an Instagram and, kind of giving them the idea of what they could do. But that makes a lot of sense.
That's the beauty of it. Like, a lot of these companies now, because of social media and the internet, they need content fast. They don't have time to sit in a meeting for 3 months to figure out 4 photos.
Yeah.
They don't have time for that. Or they just want to film an Instagram story. They don't have time to sit in a meeting for 3 months for a quick 15-second Instagram story.
Oh, yeah, and it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. So thankfully, we have a team that's very well versed in a lot of things. With my audio background, I was able to do radio commercials for clients as well. So we can do all that in-house.
Perfect.
We can do everything in-house. So that's what we're trying to build here, and that's exactly what you're talking about. We find ourselves creating or using these different creative avenues now to make money because we don't have a choice at this point.
Right.
No one just wants a videographer. Now they're like, what do we do with the video? How do we upload it? How do we download it? What do you think we should do for ads? And now you're like, I don't know about this ad stuff. Now you got to learn it. Because you don't want your clients going to a marketing person, and then that marketing person is like, you know what? I have a videographer that can do all that for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, shoot, now I got to do it. So it's creating that one-stop shop now.
Perfect.
Because we have to.
So that brings us to the next part of the conversation. How are you holding up with the quarantine or the shutdown or partial shutdown?
I'm holding up really well. And by really well, I mean mentally, I'm doing very well.
Okay.
And it's because a lot of friends of mine who are in the creative industry, they're going through chaos. They lost all their jobs. So, I thought I was secure. I had certain contracts that were about to be signed the week that the NBA shut down. And, that contract gives you the deposit checks. And I'm like, this will be enough to hold us off if anything happens. So what happened was the NBA shut down. As soon as the NBA shut down, my heart started pumping. I said, I'm going to lose what I thought I was going to get from MLS, for example. I'm like, sports are shutting down. Please don't shut down MLS. Please don't shut down MLS. MLS shut down. I said, okay, I expected a certain amount of income from that. That's gone. So now I'm redoing my numbers. Okay, I still got these contracts. All right, cool.
Right.
2 hours after NBA shut down, I got an email. Hey, just so you know, we're thinking about canceling these events. These are certain events that I was supposed to do the marketing for.
Yeah.
I said, all right, it's okay. They said maybe. They said maybe this event isn't till April. And I think NBA shut down beginning of March.
Right.
And I was like, that's fine. It'll be over within a month. Then I go on Instagram. The marketing manager announced that they canceled the event. I'm like, okay. Now I have to call my second photographer, who's coming up here. He's flying up here from South Carolina, and which I think you met, Callow Lens. He's Donovan.
I think so, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I got to tell Donovan now, job is canceled. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, we got another event at the end of April. Another one. We're fine. We still got that. Redo the numbers. We figured it out. I'm like, we're good. That event gets canceled. I'm like, okay.
One by one.
All within 3 hours, all of the events we had from, March to the summer, canceled. All of the creative jobs we had, everything just canceled. So I'm sitting there like, okay, thankfully I work with corporations, which are all net 30 and net 60, which I hate. But in this time, it worked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's a check coming. A check didn't come. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm screwed. And we, along with the team, 100 from the Line team, Gary Pivot, Callow Lens, which is Donovan, and myself, found another stream of income, because when one door closes, another door opens.
Right, which is going to lead me into the next question.
Yes, so
when the world stops and what stops and all the security slowly basically gets, out of the picture. Yeah. So how do you stay creative at the same time supplementing for being operational is the biggest goal right now.
Yeah.
Until things look better, right? So being able to maintain your equipment and maintain your hands busy in what you're doing.
So what I started seeing is, as soon as the news broke out, everyone's shut down. Everyone's in chaos. Everyone's stressed out. Everyone's angry. Everyone's sad. Everyone's depressed. A lot of emotions. I started realizing small businesses are shutting down everywhere, but some small businesses will not give up. And that's one thing I love about business owners, entrepreneurs, creative people, is they're very thick-skinned. They don't give up.
Yeah.
So I know that some people are not going to give up. They're going to be stressed out, but they're going to sacrifice everything they have to stay afloat right now.
Yeah.
So I said, let me find these companies. Let me document these businesses.
Okay.
Everybody said no. It's too dangerous. We can't have you here. What if you get corona? What if you get this? I said, all right, hospitals are going crazy. Someone's got to document it.
Right.
Let me reach out to hospitals. Everybody told me I was crazy.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a documentary photographer, so this is what I want to do. Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. I've almost fell out of a 80-mile-per-hour bus in a snowstorm. Like, I almost died in Costa Rica on a car ride that went crazy. It went south. So, like, I'm like, whatever. What's the virus going to do? Like, I always risk my life for documentation. So, why not? I'll play it safe, though, protect myself extra, all that. Nothing. I'm like, okay. I got lucky. Source Coffee House, which I go to all the time in Black Rock, is doing curbside pickup. They had a really interesting way of doing curbside pickup where they basically emptied out the whole coffee shop and they put the cash register and everything right at the door. And they put their card reader, which is digital, outside. So you can order your coffee.
Divided by glass.
Exactly.
Okay.
But not even just divided by glass. Yeah, but divided by like 5 foot from the door to the fence, you know? So there's a big division there, and they use walkie-talkies. Like, you tell them your order, they walkie-talkie it in to the barista. The barista comes, drops it off to the edge of the fence where there's a little, like, table.
Yeah.
And that's how you get your coffee. No actual, like, physical interaction. I was like, this is genius. And then on top of that, they're also, they were selling packages. So, like, care packages, you know, you pay X amount of dollars for a package, they'll drop it off. And then they figured, you know what? Let's sell supplies, because they have their vendors or their distributors that drop off the milk and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't just sell milk, they sell eggs, they sell all these things. So they figured, why not provide a little grocery service at the same time?
Right.
So they adapted. And I said, this is beautiful. This is what companies are doing to stay afloat.
Right.
They're being challenged creatively, so let me document that.
Okay.
So they let me in.
Good.
You know, I've been a customer of theirs for a long time, and I really love what they do. So I documented part of it. And like 2 weeks later, I get a message saying, hey, do you mind if we send these to the Connecticut Post? Connecticut Post posted one of my photos.
Nice.
It was great. I was like, all right, cool. It's picking up. And then all the companies that I lost, like the clients that I lost, those projects that I lost, reached out again and said, hey, we got to stay in business. We need help.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, they're like, we need help. What do we do? All of a sudden, I'm like, I know what to do. I have campaigns. All these campaign ideas started coming, and I started writing out proposals of what to do during COVID and things like that. And that was one way of staying creative. I also tried to do some commercials or little ad spots at home. Bought a bunch of construction paper, you know, put all the lights up. And I just started doing photos of like ramen noodle soups and all these things that I had at home just to be creative. But it wasn't making money, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, what do we do? So we started delivering groceries. We went back to the grind like 5-7 years ago. We started delivering groceries. And the grocery money is paying the bills, you know, it's keeping us afloat, which is fine. But something bigger came from that. As I was dropping off groceries, you know, I started meeting people like some woman she said she was 11 weeks pregnant, had a bunch of allergies.
Yeah.
Was also, what else? She had a compromised immune system. There was a lot wrong with her body. And she was like, thank you so much. You know, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate what you're doing. And I made sure to get items that were according to her allergies. You know, so
be mindful of.
Exactly. So when I dropped it off, she was in tears. I was like, wow. Okay. That got me. I got another one where a woman said that her son was extremely sick and it was his birthday. They didn't have a lot of the items that she wanted, so I made sure to get the right items to celebrate his birthday. I learned about her son that day and her, and when I dropped it off, they were both at the window, and her son was like waving to me, telling me thank you and all this stuff. And then I went on Twitter, and I started seeing some posts from people delivering groceries. One guy's freaking out. He's crying. He says, everyone keeps calling me a hero, thanking me for getting their groceries because they can't do it. But meanwhile, I go back in my car and I break down crying because I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
But I don't have a choice because I have to work.
Yeah.
I have children to feed. So there's a divide there. The privileged get to have their groceries delivered while those are trying to survive have to risk their lives.
Yeah.
And not only did I see that, but I also started seeing people again. You know, when you work in a creative field, you only see your clients.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the people that you would see if you were working at a coffee shop like I used to. I used to see different people all the time. I was a people person. I would talk to them. I would smile, you know, I would try whatever to make somebody's day, even if it was a cup of coffee.
Right.
You don't do that as a creative person because you're stuck in a room with the same people all the time. And delivering these groceries put me back in that zone where I'm talking to people. I'm seeing all these different personalities again, seeing all these problems that I guess I was blind to before. Yeah. So my brain started running. My brain, like the engines were going like crazy. That creative part of me was just going nuts. So now I deliver the groceries with a notebook and I have all these ideas for campaigns, all these different point of views, all these like personalities that I'm writing, and it's something that I haven't seen in years. Okay. I haven't felt this creative in years. And it's thanks to this situation. So that's helping me with the campaigns for my clients right now that I'm working on. You know, like last week, you know, I just locked in a contract with a client up in Farmington.
Okay.
Farmington, yeah. And it was because of that. Because I got to see all these things that I wasn't able to see before.
Right.
I'm like, oh, shoot. There's a whole market right now that we're just ignoring.
Yeah.
We're ignoring these people that are at home. You know, they're talking about the heroes and stuff like that on TV, but there's more going on than just that. There's way more going on, and there's a lot of things that we can do to bring awareness to what's going on. But to be honest, I'm not more worried about awareness. I'm more worried about bringing a light to people.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that we can bring a light to people right now that don't see the light. There's a lot of people with allergies, a lot of people with problems, a lot of people that are terrified of leaving their house right now. And all they see on TV is fear.
Yeah.
Fear, fear, fear. This will last another 2 months. This will last another 4 months. And it's like, okay, but where's the hope? Where's the light?
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness, there's so much hope. There's so much light. There's so much we can do. I might not be able to donate $1,000, $100,000.
Right.
But I can help you see things from a different light. You know, one of my biggest things is to see the world the way God sees it, or to see myself the way God sees me, or to see others the way God sees them. And that's something that it's just so heavy right now. It's heavier than it's ever been before. And like creatively, I'm like, there's so much we could do.
Right.
So I'm very thankful that this situation basically helped me see the world from a different light that I haven't seen it in a long time.
And it wasn't going to happen without this.
I don't think so.
Or maybe not this
that I know
in
of.
life. Maybe in a middle-age crisis or...
Yeah.
Because I noticed that, you know, I've always had an excuse of why not to pursue passion projects, because I'm not going to turn down work to do a passion project, because I can't afford that.
Exactly.
The world's running. You know, if something happens to me, the world doesn't care. Now the whole world is going through it. So things stopped. I mean, even the whole, you know, right now renters get a 60-day grace period, but you still got to pay that in 60 days.
You still got to pay. And that's the problem.
And same thing with the mortgage and forbearance. We have to
And
pay.
that's one of the things that scared me.
Yeah. So it's not really a resolution at all.
It's not. So should I sit here and take the breaks and then get a surprise $1,000 bill for my phone, for example, right? So I'm like, okay, this is how I saw it, right? The world moves. The world moves like this. This is us. This is the world. We move with the world. All of a sudden, the world stopped. We have a choice. We can keep going and get in the lead, or we can stop with the world. And then the world's going to move slowly, and next thing you know, you're behind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we have a choice. So that's one of the reasons why I started doing the groceries, is because I'm like, okay, no, I don't want that $1,000 bill 3 months from now. I want to pay my bills. And now is the perfect time to do it. Because where are you going to spend your money? There's nowhere to spend your money. So you can either save it and get that house you wanted, because the market's going to go down. So keep working or find work, or invest. So yes, the world slowed down, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going.
It's an opportunity to catch up, maybe.
Yes, this is an opportunity to catch up. And we're in such a great position that most people are not in. We can catch up.
Yeah.
So my thought process is, okay, I can catch up. I can get in the lead, but it's selfish if I stay in the lead by myself. So what can I do while I'm moving up to help others? And I can't donate thousands of dollars. I can't donate all this stuff. Some places won't even allow me to be there because it's unsafe.
Right.
So, you know, me thinking creatively, I'm like, okay, let me just help these companies create these ads and create these campaigns that'll bring light to people. You know, I might not be able to tell you it's going to be okay physically or personally, but if I can do a campaign that'll reach you, that'll make you realize that there is an opportunity for you to grow, or that'll make you see the value in yourself that you didn't see before, then I'm happy doing that.
All right.
You know, this is the perfect time to
adaptation and seeing the silver lining then.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's good. 9-to-5ers don't really get to do that because a lot of people are paycheck to paycheck. And even though paycheck to paycheck, it sounds terrible to me, there's security if you have paycheck to paycheck for 5 years.
Technically, they're living more comfortably than we are.
We don't get...
We don't live paycheck to paycheck.
But, you know, we might see a nice contract, but then we got to make sure there's another one following.
Yeah, that's
so
scary.
So it's a little harder for that, but I do agree. Like you got to look at the silver lining and get creative and try to catch up.
Honestly, I think that creative people, this is their time to shine. This is our time to shine because everyone is at home watching Netflix, doing all this stuff. Who do you think made that?
Yeah,
it's creatives.
Yeah,
the creators that we used to look down upon before this. Now we're starting to see all these things that they've done,
right?
And no one is hating on creatives right now. So I've seen. There's really no excuse.
Right.
Creatives are like, oh, if I had the time, I had the money, this and that.
Because that was my response.
Yeah, everyone's got time now.
Yeah.
And no one really cares if you got money like that now.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. This is our time to shine. So shine. Go get it. Go do it. Go do those projects. I mean, I see Gary and Donovan from 100 from the Line every week posting content that they're doing at home right now.
Yeah.
Studio lights, they're using products that they have at home where they shop, their favorite drink, they'll create ads for them. Like, this is their time.
Working, yeah.
Yeah.
I in a matter of like a month, I was able to write 5 short films.
I saw that.
Which I've never taken the time. I'm like, I don't got the time to execute it. I'm a for hire, always open, never want to turn down work. And luckily, I've never had empty spaces of no work in 10 years.
That's crazy.
And for 10 years, I've been like,
nuts.
well, the first 5 I wasn't never ready to do any film work in real life. I did a lot of work here and there as a hired party, right? But writing my own was always like, I'm not really a writer.
Now you don't have a choice.
Blah, blah, blah. And at this point, it's like, this is the time.
Yep.
You have to get it done.
This is it.
And it came out of nowhere because I still had those fears and those, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this? Just looking at the little bit of assistance. By the way, I didn't get nothing. I haven't seen a dollar from nobody. Either. Not that I need to. Because I'm still got like 30% of my gigs that are safe.
But you know what's the beauty of all of this? All these companies now want to give out grants.
I'm waiting for mine.
So now I'm like, okay, there's other ways to get money that I'm learning now that I didn't see before thanks to this. I'm like, okay, we could do grant money. That's one way. We could also look at, there's other companies that are willing to say, it's not a loan, but show us a project and we'll fund it.
I did apply with the Connecticut Office of the Arts, and I work with them a lot too. So I did apply for one of those.
It helps. Like now we can see that. There's a lot of projects now that I want to do that I'm like, man, I can't do them. And then I realized, thanks to this, the COVID thing, all these companies now want to give grants because they see some creatives are struggling.
Yeah.
I'm not struggling, but I can use some funding to help make these projects happen. So why not? Why not go for it?
One last thing. I know that there's a million theories. A lot of people. I'm not gonna get political, because it's never gonna end. Misinformation. We have a lot of access to information, and we just don't seem to be able to assess it. I think I can, but I might be wrong too. I'm assessing the information how I think. I'm not jumping. I'm not sharing nonsense. I keep an open mind, but if I don't see any actual evidence, I just don't go down the rabbit hole of like fear, because it's a lot of this stuff is just selling you hopelessness and fear, right? But what do you think outside of just the educational system and not, everybody not being able to think critically? What do you think we have that problem right now, at least in the United States?
What, thinking critically? What's in our head every day is what we think about. That's what we talk about. That's what we see. So if you ever notice, let's say you're shopping for a Jeep Wrangler, right?
Right.
You ever notice that when you're shopping for the car you're shopping for, you start seeing it all over the place? Like,
yeah.
I never realized there's so many Jeep Wranglers. Well, that's because your brain is in Jeep Wrangler mode. So that's all you think about.
Right.
So if you go on Hot 97, COVID fear. Power 105, COVID fear. Okay, let me shut that down. Let me go on Facebook. Everyone's COVID fear. All right, let me shut that down. Let me watch Hulu. Every Hulu ad, please stay inside to keep us safe. COVID fear.
Yeah.
All right, let me just go on YouTube and watch funny videos because this is enough. YouTube ads, COVID fear. I'm like, you know what? Let me go read a book. Now I'm reading a book. My brain is thinking, COVID fear, COVID fear, COVID fear, COVID fear. And that's all you see. So when that one piece of factual information is up there, is in your face, you're looking at it like, COVID fear. You can't even read properly because those thoughts of COVID fear are there, and all you see our COVID fear.
Right.
Our brain is kind of like, oh, I just realized my phone is recording literally word by word everything. So
Speaking of it,
right?
COVID fear,
get him. No, but it's like your brain is so filled with it, you get to a point where that's all you see.
Right.
So now, even when you don't try to see it, you see it. It's like, remember that dress? Was it gold and white or blue and black?
Oh my God.
But that was basically how it showed you how the eye worked, right? If you were staring at a certain light or a certain color, when you saw the dress, it looked white and gold. But if you were looking at it from like a different color, temperature, or whatever, you get blue and black. But it just goes to show that whatever you're surrounded by, you know, that's influences what you're going to look at next.
Right.
You know, it influences that point of view. So if all you see is COVID fear, then that's all you're going to get. The media is only showing fear. I remember I did a shoot.
Do you think that's because this country kind of moves with the slowest kid in class mentality? That
no,
some
I think
people
this country
are so
moves
careless.
with the money mentality. COVID fear sells.
Right, but besides that, just do you think they're trying to keep people just the reach the people that have no actual? They're not convinced that this is even real.
Well, I think that they have to do whatever they have to do to get you to do what they need you to do. So, for example, they need you to stay inside, then they will tell you whatever they have to tell you to stay inside. Because you know what? I think this is a real thing. I think people should stay inside.
Of course.
Stay inside, stay separated. I get that. Do it. But if no one's listening, I'm like, you know what then? Bring in the fear. I think that's what they're doing.
Okay.
Because,
that
like, you know, if
that's
your kids
theory.
don't listen, right? If your kids are not listening or not going to sleep, viene el cucú. Okay.
Viene el cucú.
Yep. Let me go to sleep then,
Yeah.
right? That's what Spanish parents do.
Right. A lot of people at home, you know, not everybody's a creative. So as on the other side, what would you suggest? You know, you have like a movie or a book or anything you would like to suggest?
I've been reading a lot. Actually, I am watching something. Like on my time off and I just need to relax from working all day, I'll watch Netflix. I started watching, actually Hulu, started watching Blackish, one of the greatest series made in a long time.
Oh yeah.
I love that series, it's so great. But one of the books that I'm reading right now is Originals. And I love Originals because it's a book that teaches you how nonconformists move in the world. So, you know, the world is moving this way, and the nonconformists are like, let's go this way, and how they change the world.
Innovators.
Yeah, innovators, game changers, you know, that's all it is. And it's how they view the world. It talks about how some nonconformists are procrastinators and what the benefits are of procrastinating, the pros and cons of procrastinating. Another one is how these people creatively think and go against the grain. How thinking is an art. Some people don't know how to think. You know, some people only think to a certain point to problem solve. Other people know that thinking comes in levels. And when you think, you know, thought upon thought upon thought upon thought that build on each other, you can problem solve. Okay. That's what Elon Musk pushes all the time. You know, he doesn't just want to solve the algebraic equation. He wants to know what did it take to solve that algebraic equation to get to the root. That's how SpaceX became so successful. Okay. He figured out why space travel was so expensive and then said, okay, how do we make it cheaper? The problem was with, I don't know, I think it was fuel cells. They weren't reusable. So he's like, how do we make them reusable? And he broke things down to the fundamental truth and then worked his way up. You sort of like reverse engineer things, which is how I learned a lot of the things that I do. So
yeah, me too.
That book is a great book because this is the time that we're starting to see nonconformists are not going to fall back right now.
Yeah,
nonconformists in the world are going to go.
Yeah, we're not ready to be pushed around and shoved into a position.
Yeah, we're not. Like, you know, me and John have the craft podcast, right? When this shut down, we're like, oh shoot, what do we do? And the podcast isn't over. We're just thinking, how do we make this better? You know,
a little bit of a reset button.
Yeah, it's definitely a reset button. You know, financially, we're gonna be looking at some equipment to just handle things on our own now.
Okay.
But this is definitely a perfect time to creatively, I don't want to say reinvent, but to build upon the current podcast format. How do we build upon that?
Yes.
You know, some people are doing Zoom podcasts, but to be honest, no one wants to look at two talking heads.
Like we are right now?
Yeah. But like, at least we can see angles and stuff. But like, hey guys. Yeah. And no one's going to stare at the computer screen. That's why I hate when some people are
virtually, yeah, because I originally was thinking about, because this is pretty much just a limited edition that I'm doing. But I wanted to keep it safe, of course, with distance.
Yeah, and we're super sanitized.
Yeah, but at the same time, not lose the quality or the essence of the conversation. I will say this though,
real quick. Stu Leonard's has hand sanitizer, paper towels, and toilet paper for all you guys out there. All right, they always have it.
Stu Leonard's.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we wrap up, yourself 10 years ago, you run into him or her. I don't know.
10 years ago, wait.
You run into yourself 10 years ago, and wherever you were 10 years ago, what would you say to yourself shortly? To change or to keep doing? Or whatever it is you would tell yourself.
I would tell myself 10 years ago, shut up and listen. Because if there's one thing I learned, is that the old Daniel had pride through the roof. Stubbornness through the roof. There's so many opportunities that I missed because of my pride and my stubbornness. I didn't think I needed to learn things. I thought I knew it all. That's what I would tell myself. Shut up. Shut up. Take the jobs where you have to get dirty. Take the jobs where you're getting paid $7 an hour. Take them. You are not as good as you think you are. You are trash right now. Get with it. And honestly, that's a big rude awakening that hit me over the past few years.
Yeah.
Is that like I lost a lot of opportunities and clients because I thought I was better than what they were offering. And I was not. Because me doing groceries right now, not only is it kicking my ass, but it's making me realize I should have done this years ago. Don't quit your job the way you did.
Okay.
Don't treat certain clients the way you did. Stop complaining, because I do that a lot. I used to do it a lot more. Like, stop all that. Just cut it. Cut the crap. Like, seriously, just cut it. And luckily, I'm very thick-skinned, you know, because, you know, in a creative field, people will tell you your stuff. Literally, someone said, this is garbage. You're giving me trash.
Yeah.
Cursed me out. A normal person would be like, why would you say that?
No.
And I was like, okay, I'll fix it. He's like, that's all you got to say to me? I said, yeah, what else can I say?
Yeah.
And the client just got mad. Like, what do you want me to say? You said it's trash already. I just got to take it and fix it.
Yeah.
So, you know, thankfully I have that. But at the same time, that doesn't give me an excuse to go out and be like, I could do whatever I want because I could take whatever whatever they give me. Like, I could take all the hits. Just because you could take all the hits doesn't mean you have to take all the hits. Calm down, Danny. Like, calm down, bring it down, and just work. Really grind. You know, really, really grind it out and shut up.
Perfect.
Shut up and do what you're told.
That's sobering, but right? Because you can see those things and you can come to a realization that you made mistakes and it's good to be able to be honest with yourself. I would be in such a different
position right now if I would have just shut up and listened.
It happens. I mean, you do have to, but you can't dwell on that. I think.
No, not at all. Now, I am thankful for it because I learned things. The lessons that came from it were great. I'm like, okay, the lessons that came from it were great. Hopefully I could teach them to somebody so that they don't have to go through what I did. But, you know, just a part of me is like, man, you know what? I shouldn't be as hard-headed. So now moving forward, I'm not as hard-headed. And there's so many opportunities that came because I just shut up.
Well, we're going to leave them with that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Cool. Thank you for taking the time to come and talk
COVID
a little junk. Social distancing. And this has been the first episode of Let's Jump Right In.